Eminence. Go throw them knees up in the air.
8, 7, we have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
What's up, SFL Nation? Welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today and tonight and whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. And I have my good friend here with me, my someone that I can always count on, Mr. Nathaniel Diggs, right across from me. How you doing, sir?
Good. Glad to be here. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope you had a good weekend and enjoyed the extra day off of work.
Indeed. The only thing I didn't do was cook out because somebody wanted to burn down one of the apartments out here. Now I got to suffer because he couldn't cook. Whatever.
Yeah, because I got to put it up next to the siding and everything.
Because that's a whole nother thing I have to tell you about. But we got a good show planned for tonight. We got a lot of guests on. It's I don't know why everybody decided they wanted to come on the show, but I am truly grateful. And guess what? It's mostly flight members. I have quarterback Jordan Sipe from the flight, as well as Jay Viper, wide receiver. I should have, well, I'm going to announce those two later just in case. But I also have Cam Curtis from Canton. He is the assistant GM over there and awesome person. And I also have Ottawa Calvary, Isaiah King III. He's explaining why he decided to go to change his player and everything. So it's going to be a really interesting show. And I should great times for everybody. But let's start.
I think you might have all these people wanting to come on here because Eddie had one heck of a show. His last show. Oh man,
yeah, it was.
It was amazing. that was some next level stuff.
Like everybody said, okay, I want to be on. To be honest, I did kind of reach out to a lot of people. They was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I figured, but for the SFLm Week 5 review, now you brought up an interesting point that I would love for you to let everybody know first before we get started. You know, as far as where we stand in our picks, Diggy.
Oh yeah, going from Week 3 on, where we both made our predictions. You know, you are 11 out of 12. So go ahead and say props now on a clean sweep last week. And I'm 7 for 12. But I'm gonna get you. Yeah. There's still weeks and weeks left.
So. Still got time.
That slump's coming. You can only ride high for so long. I'll fall off at some.
Listen, you better tell that to the flight because right now they are undefeated and have been for a long time. I guess that's why everybody decided that they wanted to come on and talk about it.
Well, I'm gonna talk about that too later when we get to that.
I love it. Yeah. So on the 27th, the Albuquerque Adams took on the Lexington Miners, where Albuquerque won 2017. The Adams had 196 yards passing, 68 yards rushing for 264 yards total. Time possession was 19 minutes, 36 seconds, 1 mistake. The Adams scored 3 points in the first quarter, no points in the second, 3 points in the third, and 14 points in the fourth quarter. The Miners had 250 yards passing, 61 yards rushing for 311 yards total. Their time possession was 24 minutes, 24 seconds, with 2 mistakes. They scored 7 points in the first quarter, 0 points in the second, 3 points in the third, and 7 in the fourth. So, Diggy, you told me this was a very interesting game, and unfortunately, I was only able to catch like the first part of it. Let us know what happened.
This was a great welcome back to football game. You know, after a week off, and then coming back, the first 2 plays of the games being back-to-back picks, one by each team, that was insane. But great job by Lexington on third downs. Albuquerque, you know, struggled to hold on third downs up until the end of the second. They would stop them, but then it would just get given up. And, you know, they got their defense going. When the third started and Lexington started moving, getting multiple first downs, I thought, here we go again. You know, I was like, here we go. It's going to be the same thing as the first half. But they really ended up stepping up. The ending was probably the most exciting part of it. The Adams scoring an awesome touchdown, almost picking the ball off on Lexington's next possession, and Lexington driving down the field and scoring to retake the lead with less than 2 minutes left. But that last drive by the Adams almost picked twice, came down to 4th and 11, and they completed a pass to get a new set of downs with 22 seconds left. They made another play and were able to call a timeout with 5 seconds left. And you know, with animations, sometimes that don't happen. We had that talk about, right? People were talking about, hey, the animation rolls and the time runs out. And you know, they were lucky and got that 5 seconds, and they were able to score that touchdown and retake the lead. And it was an amazing game. It really was. It was probably, okay, come on, you're shaking my stuff.
Hey,
trying to do 2 things at once. But yeah, it was a great welcome back to football game.
Good. And I wish I would have stuck around and watched all that action unfold like that, because it sounded like an amazing ending to that game. Player shout-outs include from the Adams, Honus Odobe, wide receiver, 8 receptions, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, 28 long. And Baloo Scott, running back, 3 receptions, 25 reception yards, 1 touchdown, 13 long. I have Dante Graham, strong safety, 13 tackles, 2 assists, 1 tackle for loss. Free safety, Cody Holland, and cornerback Don Fletcher both had interceptions. While the Miners, wide receiver Zachary Patton had 5 receptions, 38 yards, 1 touchdown, 16 yards. And wide receiver David Years, 7 receptions, 137 yards, 1 touchdown, 46 long. Linebacker Thomas Matthew, 10 receptions, 2 assists. And cornerback Dion Lane Barney, 3 tackles, 1 assist, 1 pass deflection, 1 interception. Awesome job, y'all. Next up, we had the Ottawa Calvary taking on the Annapolis Navigators, where Annapolis won 27-17. Ottawa had 170 yards passing, 120 yards rushing for 290 yards total. Their time of possession was 20 minutes, 6 seconds, 2 mistakes. Annapolis had 353 yards. Annapolis had 84 yards passing, 269 yards rushing, all square bush, I'm sure, and 353 yards total. Time of possession was 23 minutes, 27 seconds with no mistakes. Now, Ottawa scored their points in the third and fourth quarter, scoring a field goal in the third and 14 points in the fourth, where Annapolis scored their points all game long. 3 points in the first quarter, 10 points in the second, 7 points in the third, and touchdown in the fourth quarter. So what do you think about this game?
Annapolis started the game off with a pass, and I was like, oh man, here we go. And then they ran it the next 5 or 6 plays. I thought they was going to switch it up. But, I mean, they did sprinkle some pass in there throughout, a little bit more than usual, I think. But Square Bush, congrats on getting back to form. This is a good comeback game from him after a down couple weeks. But this game, it was like Annapolis is like that. It's like that friend you take to the pool and they dip their toe in the water and they're like, nope, it's too cold. I'm going to get back out. That's the pass game. That's them in the pass game. Hey, it's working out. Oh, we almost threw an interception or something. Let's get back to square bush. But it was a fun game to watch. The play of the game was towards the end of the third when the quarterback for Stutters, is that how I'm saying it right? Struthers, yeah. Mm-hmm. He looked like he was going to get smashed into the ground. The defender coming, and he just dunked it. I don't know how he did it. But you'll have to watch that one. And he came back up and completed the pass. It was a great play, and probably the best one I saw all week.
Oh man, dope.
Ottawa, they just couldn't get it going this week with some of the run. They got rolling later in the game, and they have a well-balanced team, but they were playing a tough Annapolis team. I don't think Annapolis has fallen off. I think they've had, a couple tough games, but not Annapolis, Ottawa. Sorry, I don't think Ottawa's fallen off. But they've had some tough games coming, and their defense did good. Squarebush put the numbers up on them. She said hi. She already said hi.
Baby.
They did good keeping Squarebush out of the end zone a couple times. They had some really good plays to end it. He did still get his worth, though, getting in the end zone a couple times and getting the massive amount of yardage again. So it was a good game. It was a good game. Congrats to Squarebush again, getting back in the form. But they did, like I said, try to throw the ball around. I think they targeted the tight end quite a bit, but it just didn't kind of work out. But they're getting there.
Indeed, everybody is, and it's like you said a long time ago. It just takes time and progressions, and you'll be good. Shout outs would include from the Ottawa wide receiver Michael Knight with 7 receptions, 72 yards, 1 touchdown, 18 long. And shout out includes Dwayne Sampson, running back, 24 carries, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 27 long. On the defense, I'm going to give a shout out to Josh Neal, strong safety, for 9 tackles, 2 assists, 1 tackle for loss. And TJ Frosty, 7 tackles, 2 assists, and 1 pass deflection. Scooting on down to the Annapolis Navigators. Now, you did mention Brady Squarebush, and he had 30 carries, 272 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and his longest carry was 46 yards. Crazy.
Now, if you're looking at the pass, like I said, they did throw some pass in there. If I remember it correctly, I think they targeted the tight end around 7 times, but he only got one completion on there. So they are working it in there. But like we talked about before, you gotta get it going and rolling and get these guys, whether it's confidence or whether it's just that chemistry and the connection, because they had some amazing pass completions in there. They really did. But it's I think if they did a more effective balanced attack, Squarebush would be even more effective than what he is, because right now, if you lean heavy on Squarebush, people expect it. And if he doesn't make a couple of those breaks or push somebody in the dirt, he's not getting away. So exactly. I think, like I said, if they balance it out a little bit more, Squarebush would be a bigger monster than he is.
I agree. And like you have been preaching this the whole time. You never should be one-dimensional, because everybody will prepare for it, and then you won't have anything, to fall back on. Let's see. For the Annapolis Navigators on the defensive side of the ball, shout out to Dale McClain, strong safety with 10 tackles, 2 assists, 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception, 15 yards, 15 long. And Nathan West, 3 tackles, 2 tackle for loss, 1 interception, and 2 yards. So congratulations, Annapolis Navies. I always call them Navies affectionately. I love them. I love that name for them. I always have. And next up
should be Madison and San Jose.
Okay. we can do that. Madison Lynx taking on the San Jose Flight. Great game to watch. I actually watched most of this game. Where the San Jose Flight won 21-14. San Jose had 307 yards passing, 78 yards rushing for 385 yards total. Their time of possession is 24 minutes, 4 seconds, 1 mistake. Where Madison had 260 yards passing, 64 yards rushing for 324 yards total. Their time of possession was 19 minutes, 28 seconds with 5 turnovers. Madison scored their points in the second quarter, scoring a touchdown in the second quarter and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. For San Jose Flight, scored pretty much the whole time, scoring a touchdown in the first, second, and fourth quarters. Obviously, San Jose is on the right path. They're currently undefeated. They have been putting up large numbers every game, it seems like. And I think one of the secrets to their success is to be able to capitalize off mistakes, but being able to hold the ball longer than most of the teams, which gives you more opportunities to create either turnovers or to get those points that you need. What do you think about this?
With this one, if you passed over this game because Madison was 0-4 and San Jose is 4-0, you missed out. If you thought this was a gimme game, you missed out because it wasn't. It was pretty much a one possession game until the end of the second quarter, and they got close a couple times. When San Jose scored again. And went up to make it a two-possession game there before the half. This was a battle of the quarterbacks. I mean, two great quarterbacks with Moon and Sipe. They did get hit at the beginning. I think Viper going down early, but coming back later, it was because it was just cramps. That kind of hindered them a little bit. I think Viper is probably one of the best receivers in the minors right now as a rookie level, not on a two-way, but just straight rookie level there. So I think that hindered the start a little bit. With Madison, they fought well this game. Their defense is great. It kept them in here. They did get beat a couple times over the top, but this whole team is, I think, better than the record shows. And Moon can sling the ball. He had a lot of big, deep passes in there, and he made up for some of those interceptions. And that's good on him to be able to throw the interceptions, make mistakes, and then come back out and still be a beast. This team, I think, what was I saying here? You
were just explaining the last thing you talked about.
He came back out after those interceptions and bombed one to Ellis, who I think was in for a touchdown, by the way. I think that was a touchdown. They said it wasn't, but they ended up scoring anyway.
It's freaking ref 62.
Yeah, the turnovers just hurt them so bad.
Yeah.
The interceptions and then the fumble in the red zone. The defense, like I said, made big plays when they need to, forcing San Jose to punt the ball and even knocking them back out of field goal range in the first half. Offense took off right before the second half, starting the third. They have the stuff to do it. I've said this multiple times. They have the stuff to do it. They have the talent to do it. This team can win. And all shoulda, coulda, woulda this whole season with Madison, because I know they can win. They've obviously figured out the offense and stuff with how Moon was able to play and the defense holding up. The only thing holding this team back is the turnovers, giving away the ball and not holding on to the ball. That is it. There's no reason they should be without at least one victory right now. It's just we need to get the head in the game. But yeah, I think if it wasn't for that, Madison should have won this game. It was that good of a game. It was that fought well. So if they could have held onto the ball and not thrown it away, it was winnable.
Indeed. any given Sunday, right? It just depends on, the grand scheme of things. And I actually have something to say about Mr. Xander Moon. But shout outs for Madison includes Charlie Baker, wide receiver, 6 receptions, 47 yards, 1 reception touchdown, 23 long. And running back Marcus Duncan with 18 carries, 64 yards, but he had 10 receptions, 35 yards, and scored a reception touchdown off that effort. For the defense, shout outs will include Matthew Oliveira, linebacker, with 8 tackles, 3 assists, and 1 pass deflection. And we're also going to give a shout out to Joseph Lama, free safety, 6 tackles, 1 assist, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection, and 1 interception. For the San Jose Lights, let's give some shout outs to J.Z. Bacon, running back, 14 carries, 63 yards, but he shined where his 5 receptions, 19 reception yards, and his 1 touchdown. We're also going to give some shout outs to Jordan Sipe. Jordan Sipe had 31 completions out of 39 attempts. His quarterback completion is 79.49. He had 307 yards passing with 3 passing touchdowns and only 1 interception. So that was absolutely amazing. For the defensive side of the San Jose Flight, shout out to Peter Warbonnet, cornerback, with 4 tackles, 1 assist, 1 interception. And then shout out to Sam Blotner, free safety, 2 tackles, 1 assist, 2 interceptions of 14 yards. So fantastic effort, everybody. But to Xander Moon, the last game was the Lincoln Rattlesnakes taking on the Tacoma Grizzlies, where Lincoln won 45-40. High scoring game. 256 yards passing for the Lincoln Rattlesnakes, 276 yards rushing for 532 yards total. Time of possession, 18 minutes, 54 seconds with 2 mistakes. Tacoma had 507 yards passing, 71 yards rushing, 578 yards total, over 1,000 yards offense. Wow. For rookies. 24 time of possession was 24 minutes and 37 seconds with no mistakes. Lincoln scored their points in all quarters, including 7 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second, 14 in the third, and 10 points in the fourth, where Tacoma had actually scored in all of their quarters as well. 16 points in the first, 7 points in the second, 7 points in the third, and 10 points in the fourth quarter. So, Dickie, what do you think about this?
Tacoma had an amazing start to that game, bombing it for a touchdown. This was another great game of quarterbacks battling it out with a slider and Sipe. It was great to watch. It actually looked like the modern day NFL airing it out, back to back.
Right.
It was really good. When they would keep it close, and then one team would get ahead, and then it'd be back the other way. So it was really amazing. I know there was a record set, right? They made the announcement on the league. The record was set for most passing yards in a minor league game. So congrats on that. But at the same time, we're giving all this glory to the quarterbacks for that. But you have to recognize they wouldn't have those yards without those receivers. So this was really a good game if you're scouting to look at these receivers, because they had a really good, hey, look at me game. T.D. Queen, great job on that, and Nawtii Liu, I mean, he's a two-way player. But great game for him, and I've given him props before. But I think that Lincoln being a little bit more well-rounded with the run and pass game made this game for them. The chemistry we saw with both teams and the receivers and quarterbacks was spectacular. Like I already said, Nawtii Liu and T.D. Queen had a great game, and I honestly can't wait for Lincoln to take on the San Jose Flight Tacoma played them so tight and almost knocked them off the victory wagon there. And I think Lincoln is going to be a little tougher of a matchup for them and might be the ones to end this streak.
Right? I'm looking at these stats, man. Like, even when you mentioned Lottie Lou, he did have 7 receptions. He did have 7 receptions, 77 yards and a touchdown. Willie Tarver Jr., wide receiver for Lincoln, had 2 receptions, 22 yards and a touchdown. We already know how great Kenny Slider did with his 80% completion percentage and 256 yards. Oh, dope. On the defense for Lincoln, gotta have some shout outs going to Frankie Custer, strong safety with 5 tackles, 4 assists, and 1 pass deflection. Also, Mathis Citron, linebacker with 6 tackles, 1 assists, 1 pass deflection. Moving down to the Tacoma Grizzlies, of course, Ty Pock doing this thing, 507 yards passing, crazy. William McDowell, wide receiver, had 3 receptions for 56 yards, 1 reception touchdown, 26 long. T the Queen, you mentioned her too, 12 receptions, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 44 long. Shane Kaufman, wide receiver. Wide receiver with 12 receptions, 207 yards, 1 touchdown himself. On the defensive side of the ball, you have Mark Kaufman, cornerback with 2 tackles, an interception with 6 yards. You had Tiga Clay with a strong safety with 11 tackles and 1 assist. So they were, and one more I wanted to mention. Kick returns. Now, William McDowell, for wide receiver, also does kick returns, and he actually got 182 kick return yards. So awesome efforts from everybody. I think everybody has been trying their best to do, the best they can with the progressions to get where they need to be. So kudos to all the teams that won, to all the teams that lost. Still got some time left to turn it around, all right?
Everybody that lost, let's hope AJ picks you to win this week. Since you did that clean sweep last week.
Now those clean sweeps don't happen often. You watch my show, you already know every week I don't get nothing. Who knows? Week 6 might be one of them. We're actually doing week 6 right now. So on June the 3rd, Madison Lynx will be taking on the Albuquerque Adams, and that's going to be a fantastic game to watch. As great as Madison did this past week, I still think they have some kinks to work out. If they can get Moon to limit his turnovers and get the ball out a little bit faster and create more turnovers, then I think that they will win this game. But I'm going to choose Albuquerque Adams simply because they're coming in hot. They haven't won in their past couple games, and they just seem a little bit more short.
All right. Well, we're not starting off on the right foot here. So we're going to pick 2 different teams. I think Madison has figured it out. They've shown that and improved each week past few weeks, with the exception of the turnovers. Like I said, the defense is strong. If they don't have the turnovers, they should be winning these games. So I'm going to give them a chance. I'm picking them over the Adams. I think they have figured it out. Like I said, the offense played last week very well. We saw the huge connections between Moon and these 60, 70-yard bombs he can throw. He's got the power, and his receivers can catch it. But they have to stop the turnovers, like I said, and hold the ball. They can win, but the Adams, like you said, they're not a pushover team. And
former champions.
Yeah, and I think their defense can
hold.
Madison. Yeah. So I think Madison's defense can hold, keep it close like they have been, and Adams did take down Lexington, but I'm going Madison. I'm not gonna talk myself out.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, you might be right, bro. Lexington Miners is taking on the Annapolis Navigators as well. That's going to be a fantastic game to watch too. I think these two particular teams are kind of similar. I think it is going to come down to who has the ball last in this one. And I think that I'm going to give that slight edge to the Lexington Miners. I think that they're going to be prepared for Randy Squarebush. I don't think that they're going to allow Randy Squarebush to run as much this time around. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Lexington Miners. Even though I love my Navies, Miners are going to win.
Let's see. Lexington versus Annapolis. It seems like Squarebush is back, like I said, and if that's the case, Lexington run defense is going to have to be crossing the T's and dotting I's and hitting on all cylinders, and play a mistake-free football game. So I think I'm going to go Annapolis with Squarebush being back in shape and showing, hey, I ain't lost nothing. So
okay,
Annapolis.
Gotcha. And the Lincoln Rattlesnakes will be taking on the San Jose Flights. This is probably the game of the week. I think it's going to be a fantastic game to watch. I think that it's probably, I want to say it's going to be a high scoring game, but I feel like both teams are going to be ready for that. So I think that the San Jose Flight is going to wind up still being undefeated at the end of the day. I just think they got that magic right now with Jordan Sipe and his connections. I think that they're not gonna win by a large margin, but I think that they're gonna still take out the win, probably like about 3 points.
You don't drop the spread on it too. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna agree with you. This will be the game of the week. I think it'll be another shootout. I think with Lincoln's run pass mix and some momentum behind them as well, I think they ride the wave and clip the wings of San Jose. I think they're going to win and bring them back down to earth for a second. You know, they've had a lot of close calls the past couple of weeks. Like I said,
it's true.
Madison could have knocked them off, and Tacoma could have knocked them off. But I think, like I said, Tacoma, I think they had them beat, but they just didn't hold on till the end. And it's just going to take a little more. And I think Lincoln has that just a little bit more than Tacoma brought to the table when they played them, because they're a more balanced team. They're effective in the run. They're effective in the pass. We saw that last week. So I think if they roll with the same momentum into next week against San Jose, they'll be the ones to knock them off.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. Lastly, Tacoma Grizzlies taking on the Ottawa Calvary. Should be a great game to watch. I think Tacoma's receivers, I think they're going to wind up helping them win this game. I'm going to go with Tacoma to win, probably by a touchdown. But Ottawa definitely has the ability. I mean, everybody has the ability to win, but I just feel a little bit more strongly about Tacoma Grizzlies' offense in comparison. Now, Ottawa's defense is actually pretty good, so Tacoma better bring it, against it. But I think that they do have the firepower to be able to get that win. So I'm going with Tacoma on this one.
All right. I think this will be the first game we pick the same. I'm gonna pick Tacoma as well. I don't think Ottawa's fallen off. Like I said, they've had a rough 3 weeks, losing to Lexington, barely losing to the Adams, and doing well, but still losing to Annapolis. But Tacoma can score, and to beat them, Ottawa's going to have to do something they've only done once this whole season, and they haven't done it since week 1, which is score 20 points or more. You're going to have to put points on the board to beat this team and get in the end zone and keep the pace with them and be able to answer back. And 10 to 17 points, I don't think it's going to cut it to pull a victory off here against Tacoma. So Again, I don't think Ottawa's fallen off, and they stand a chance like everybody does. But I think if they don't put the points on the board and score at least 20 or more points, they ain't gonna win this game. But Tacoma's getting. I mean, they've had a couple 40-point games. I mean, they're able to get there. So I think, like I said, I think Tacoma's gonna do it. I think it's gonna be a little bit too much.
Well, at least we agree on something, right?
Yeah, go out on the same page.
Indeed. All right, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. And next up, my 4th and goal interviews coming right up. And all right, SFL Nation, we are back with the 4th and goal interview featuring my good friend and a person that I haven't seen in a very long time. His name is Mr. Isaiah King III. He is the wide receiver for Ottawa Calvary. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you, AJ?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you again. And, you know, I'm just giving you a hard time about not being around. I know you eat school and you got things going on. So, you know, still my buddy, though. So what's been going on with you, man? Share what's been up with you. First of all, wide receiver. Last time I checked, you were a free safety. So you have to explain that.
Yeah, you know, I more so like touching the ball than I do stop and touchdown. So I would give it a chance to switch sides of the ball. I mean, I figured I would be back in the pros in no time anyway. So it didn't hurt to start over and start a new journey.
Absolutely.
It was fun in Denver. It was kind of a tough decision because I liked my first player. A lot of people liked my first player, in fact. And I really didn't want to retire him. But, you know, there's no way to make another player without retiring my first one. So I had to do it.
Indeed. And your player and your free safety was very effective. I mean, hey, I gave you your first touchdown. So at least I ain't got that to worry about.
Yeah, we were division rivals. So you've got one less 6'4" safety to worry about.
One less.
But I'm sure Denver's going to bring another one in. So they might be faster or strong. They might be better than me. You never know. But we'll see.
Maybe. That's all I got. All right. So tell me, I know it was hard, you know, for Denver to lose such a intricate piece of their defense. But what was it like? Go over what was it like making that final decision and actually, how's it been in free agency? How's it been? Well, actually, you decided to go the rookie route, so you're kind of starting all over again. I guess that is a good question. Why didn't you just go into free agency instead of going back and creating another player?
I think, well, if I was going to stay with my safety, I wasn't going to leave Denver. My right. Safety was he was there to stay, but for my receiver, you know, I had no initial choice. I couldn't just. I don't think I could just go to free agency, right? I think I had to be a rookie. No,
and as I was saying that, I realized that, yeah, you wanted to change. You wanted to be on offense. So, yeah, you have to go through that whole process.
I wish I could have. I mean, the first time I did the minors anyways, I won the championship, all that stuff. It was a great experience. It's when I met you and a lot of other people. I mean, the minors is great, but I kind of wish I could have just went and took a free agent receiver and just went from there, but I had to start over. So it's been, it's been all right.
True. And the thing is, even if that was a possibility, what happens if the wide receiver that you had wasn't what you wanted? Like, what happened if they just didn't progress their player the right way? Now you got to go fix mode. You know what I mean? So in a way, I understand. And I think it's actually a good thing for you too, when you think about it, because you do get a chance to kind of reinvigorate your career, so to speak.
Right.
You know, and
yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting because a lot of players that I was friends with in my initial class, I'll be getting covered by them now. So it'll be something to talk about. It'll be different for them. It'll be different for me, but hopefully it pans out. My new player is 6'5", 2. I don't know. I don't remember the weight, but he's 6'5". So I made him just as big. And so, but I've been really boosting the route running, and so it's going to be a big guy that can move.
No missed progressions, right?
No missed progressions.
Okay, making sure. So what was it like joining Ottawa Calvary? Because were you in Ottawa the first time around?
No, the first time I was in Salt Lake.
That's right.
I think they disbanded Salt Lake or turned into Lincoln or something like that. It's Ottawa. It like I said, it's the first time around was just such a mind blowing experience. Like everybody on my team, like some of my teammates from that team still DM me. One of my teammates is the GM at one of the pro teams, and he was trying to get my safety to come over to his team and stuff like that. So it's still a cool experience, but I mean it's something I've already done. So it's kind of like it's not the same like initial effect, but my team president from Denver and one of the linebackers from Denver coached for Ottawa, so it's still kind of cool to have them around and stuff like that, and get to talk to the new rookies. I mean, I'm technically a rookie, but I know what I'm doing this time.
Exactly, and then you can be that piece to kind of guide them on what they're doing too, because I know a lot of them come in and you have a pretty decent idea as to what to do when you really getting started pages and all of that stuff. But it is good to have somebody that's kind of that's been through it before that you can go to and just be like, okay, so is this what's supposed to happen? And, things like that. So it's been and finally, I mean, it's great. You offensive people get the giant values where defense you only get like 65, 70. Offensive people get 124, and it doesn't mean anything, but it looks way better. I mean, when you got a cap that's $1,800, Cam, what am I supposed to do with $1,800? Okay, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. But when you got that cap and you got a whole bunch of high value players like that, and you got to start scaling back, man, it can be a little daunting. I mean, we had to shed some weight too, in order to make the cap, and then you have to take into consideration the new people that you're bringing in.
But it's gonna be an interesting look because I mean, you got the expansion, and then you have teams like that were established that like you said, have to shed some players and lower values and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see how people adjust because there's been some couple teams that have been dominant, and you're going to maybe see some of them kind of like dwindle a little bit because they have to choose what's more important to them, and it might mess up what they were originally doing. So
is there anything that you would have done differently the first time around, now that you've been a rookie, you got drafted, you've been on a pro team, and now you're going back to that rookie stage? Is there anything that you're gonna do differently this time around that you didn't do before? Now that you know.
I think the first time the first time I missed 2 progressions, that's the only thing that I would say I wish I didn't do, because when I got to the pros this year, I would have had an animation. This year I would have had an animation towards the end of the season, probably, if I didn't miss those progressions when I was in the minors. Which, I mean, my player initially was playing great this year without animation anyways, but that's probably the only thing I would change. I think my first experience, like me DMing GMs and coaches, trying to, get my name out there, get on shows and all that stuff, that kind of boosted me throughout the community and stuff like that. Whereas I don't really have to do that as much now. I mean, some people have seen that I switch positions and they're like, oh, we'll love to have you on our team, even with the low value. So I'm kind of glad, like, certain things that I did last time I did, because it's kind of easier this time to get drafted and stuff like that. So
exactly.
But those progressions are important. I just wish I didn't miss them, but it didn't really hurt as much. So
that's good. That's really good to hear. It's good that you learn from that, and that shows how important progressions are. You could miss out on an opportunity that you would have had if you would have done it the right way the first time. But it's a learning curve. Everybody has to go through something. You know what I mean? So that's how you have to learn.
The only thing I regret from the pros in Denver is what was making me want to stay with my safety is two things. Is I told the GM, the owner, and the coach that, we would, because, we had a lot of people retire before that year I got drafted. And I told them that I would help them take Denver back to the playoffs. I would be an all-star. And I didn't tell them, but I was going to, obviously try to break the interception record. And I want to stay because I want to keep progressing and get to those points where we go back to the playoffs. I make all-star with that player because that player to me was a superstar caliber player. Just some games, it was just a little inconsistent here or there, missed time jumps, but I think it still kind of hurts because over time I think that player would have been one of the legendary SFL players. And you never, I know people come out of retirement, so you never know what I do in the future, whether I just hang it up with my receiver and say, well, that was a mistake, and pull the safety back out and take a hit for it, or whatever they do for unretired players. But that's just one or two regrets, is not making the playoffs and never being a all-pro player. But we'll see with the receiver. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. And what is most important to you? Like, I'm just curious, is it the team aspect? Is it your own stats? Is it, what's going on?
Honestly, it's a little bit of both. I mean, it's always fun. It's always fun to, get 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions. But like I said, with King the Third, I would have games where I would get both the turnovers for our team, but then they would still score 40 points and we lose by a touchdown or something like that. It's like, okay, now I don't even want to, be on the Discord for a while, because it's just like, dang, we lost.
Right.
Or like there would be games where we won and I'd get like 4 tackles, but we still won, so it's still like kind of a good atmosphere. But the most fun games were those games where I would have 8 tackles, 2 pass deflections, an interception, a forced fumble, and we won. Like, so it was always a little bit of both that would make it kind of fun. So I would just say, yeah, if you sprinkle in a little bit of both, that's what's really important to me. Okay.
And so your next team that you want to be drafted to, is there anything that you would like to see maybe done differently that you didn't maybe experience in Denver that you would like to see from this new team? Or was Denver the locker room, the type of atmosphere that you want to go back into once you go back into the majors?
I think my minors team and Denver both kind of spoiled it and left high expectations for anywhere else I go, because Salt Lake City, we had a great coach, Ross, and we had a lot of active players. I think we had like 3 or 4 first-round picks because everybody was just so active. And then I went to the pros and we had O'Shaughnessy, and we had Price, and we had like a lot of different players that would be in the locker room. My coach would always been locker room owner. So I've been in two great organizations already. So I would just hope to, see that replicated. I know a lot of pro locker rooms are very active and stuff like that. And I would just, I like to be in that type of environment, talking, where active gameplay, everybody's watching and stuff like that. But I hope it's kind of similar to Denver and Salt Lake City. Definitely.
Awesome. Okay. So tell me about the Ottawa Calvary's record so far, and your time there. How are you feeling? What's going on in your mind?
I've been there for 3 games because I think one was a bye week. I know that first game we lost, and then I haven't got to watch those second 2 games that we won because I was working, but we won, so I might just need not to watch our games. You
better watch it. See how you won.
Yeah, but I don't like. I'm a believer in that superstition. Like if we're winning and I'm not watching it, and then I go watch and we lose, and I can't watch any games.
I'm the same way. The same way. So, I feel like if we watch it and I just start losing, I gotta cut it off.
Yeah, like this last year in Denver, we like that happened a couple of times. I would get off work and I would cut the game on, and we'd be winning by touchdown, and then they would score 2 touchdowns and we lost. And I'm like, I had 2 interceptions in the first half. Like I didn't do anything as soon as I cut the game on. Like I should have just left it off, whatever. So I haven't really got to watch Ottawa as much. I kind of just, that first game, like I said, we were getting blown out. So I ended up cutting that one off anyways. And then those second 2 games I didn't watch. I just kind of checked the stats since we had won. They were already they were undefeated before I came. And then, they were already doing pretty well. We run kind of a balanced offense. We got a pretty good back. And then, like I said, 2 of the coaches are from Denver, so I already knew them, and they're pretty good at what they're doing, their jobs. So I would like to see it continue because I already have a SFLm championship. Hopefully we can get one here. The last few weeks I haven't really got to be as active as I used to because, like I told you, school, work, moving, so many things. But hopefully I can get back into the locker room more because, like, I feel like when I was in Salt Lake City, like, a lot of times when I was in the locker room, I would be like a spark plug to the team and stuff like that. And I really think a lot of people enjoy that. So hopefully I can help us boost morale, and we go on a playoff run once that starts. But I do like what I see though. I always like to see a win. I think my player has like 8 catches, 100 and something yards maybe. So I don't think he scored a touchdown yet, but I've got to go back and check. But it's definitely they're definitely trending in the right direction coaching wise.
There you go. That's all it's about. Getting acclimated, with the team that you had, and
right.
Trying to see what works in the end. So I definitely get it. I do. But I just wanted to thank you, for making time for me. Like I said, I know you got so much going on, but I definitely wanted to catch up with you and to kind of get your story, see what's going on with you, because you helped host the show for a while. You helped do a whole lot, and so, you still can help whenever you want to. I'm definitely here for you. If you have any questions, still, just, how to find me.
All right. And as things, I've tried to, since summer's coming up, I try to take the next 2 semesters off so I can enjoy the summer and slow things down. So my job hours are changing. So hopefully I can, like I said, get back into more SFL because that's one of the things that Sorry, I'm mad.
I'm outside.
Hopefully I can definitely get back into SFL, because that's one of the things that one of the leagues that I definitely enjoyed this past 2 years, year and a half, something like that. It's just a great experience when you really dig into it and talk to people and all that stuff. So as things slow down, I'm definitely going to try to get back on the show, and that's why I want to get on it. This last 2 weeks I've been trying to make time for it and get back in the show, get back in my locker room, and hopefully I told everybody I'm trying to be higher than pick 21, because I was pick 21 last time. So if I get it going and I get people smiling and all that stuff like last time, maybe I'll get up there. We'll see. All
right, well, this is your time. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the floor. That could be a song, a poem, or a shout out, or you can just simply let everybody know the future teams that you could be on, why they should consider you.
Like I said, this is not my first rodeo. My first guy, he might have been on defense, but in real life football, I played offense and defense, and I more so actually know a lot more about wide receiver than I did on safety. So you're obviously going to get an active player. You're going to get a spark plug for the locker room, and then you're going to get somebody that kind of has learned and knows about the game and what to do with the player. Get another receiver to help your quarterback, whether you have a young or old quarterback. Interceptions is always a bad thing in the league, but a lot of teams that have good receivers and system going have kind of dwindled that down for their team. So I can be a great assist with helping your quarterback and helping your organization. I promise you, Denver didn't make the wrong pick the first time, so whoever's coming for me this time won't be making the wrong pick. So I hate to be cocky about it, but I'm a very, very valuable player to any team that I've played for so far, and you won't be choosing wrong if you choose me. So
nice. Hey, and if y'all have any questions, I can help. I can give you a recommendation. You still got my ball sitting over there. So you're a very effective player, trust me. But good luck to you, and I hope to see you very soon. And take your time and just make sure that and understand that real life does come first. That's very important. Like real life is very important. Make sure you stay focused on what really matters. You're gonna be here, and I wish you the best of luck in the SFL and in real life too. Because going to school and that is a lot. So,
yeah, it can be a little consuming, but
you got it, bro. You got it. All right, man. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon.
All right.
All right. What is up, SFL Nation? We are back with a 4th and Goal interviews, Rookie Nights edition, of course. And I have a very famed person with me tonight. His team is undefeated right now, and his ex-teammate definitely talked him up last week, so I had to bring him on the show as soon as I got a chance to. And he is Mr. Jordan Sipe, quarterback of the San Jose Flight. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Ashley?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm admiring the record you guys got over there. I'm looking at this like.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Whenever our offense is struggling to get going, I know for a fact our defense is really going to help us out, especially in the red zone. They've been absolutely phenomenal. Either keeping touchdowns from happening or simply just turning the ball over. I think that's absolutely fantastic. So shout out to the defense. They're a wonderful group of players.
Indeed. And we're going to talk more about them and you in a second. But let's let everybody know about you as the person behind the player. So if you like, give us your age. I'd love to know your hometown, some interesting facts about yourself. and your favorite NFL team. Please just don't say Green Bay.
Green Bay's been tormenting my team recently, so I have to stay far away from them. In the playoffs, not this last year, but my favorite team's the Saints. So
whoa, I'm sorry, what?
The New Orleans Saints.
Jordan. I'm a Falcons fan too. Jordan. What happened?
So you just want to stop the interview now then, or gonna keep going? Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'll tell you what. I have Kyle Pitts on my fantasy team. Absolutely love him. What a great.
I'll let you have.
Yeah, awesome. Well, anyways, I'm 22 years old. My hometown is Erie, Pennsylvania. So I live pretty close to there. I'm a Saints fan, which it's kind of off from being up in the north. But when I was 10, I started really getting into football, and that was around the time the Saints were really good, and I just wanted to watch good football. You know, I didn't want, to root for a bad team, and so I've stuck it out with them ever since, even through the rough, like 5 straight.
I understand.
So it's been rough, but now that Drew Brees is gone, I'm hurting a little bit.
Understood. It's a lot of ball clubs hurting, like Seattle, for instance. Heartbreaking losses. But what's some interesting facts about yourself?
Well, there's not much to do in Erie. There's very, very select things to do with, especially winter coming around. So I enjoy the spring. I was a track and field, I don't want to call it star. I didn't exactly go to states, but I was pretty close. I love that. I love football, even though I stopped playing in 9th grade. Always been a real big fan, and trying very hard to not be biased towards the Saints when I talk to people about the NFL, and trying to be realistic with that. I know a lot of people are, my team's going to win the Super Bowl every year. I know my team has some weaknesses, but yeah. So I love football. I actually got started with this trying to look for a football game to play that wasn't Madden, because they've been declining as of about 2006 roughly. But so I was looking for a game, and I found this, and I thought, wow, that seems kind of odd, to kind of see all that. But I started and realized that it's not 100% about the game. It's a lot about the community as well, and I love the community, so sticking it out. And even through last year, San Jose Flight not making the playoffs, and not doing that great, and here we are, just developing and making sure all the other players develop as well.
Definitely made up for it, I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you played football, and I'm wondering, is the position that you played quarterback for the SFLm? Were you a quarterback when you were playing football?
No. So I was offensive. I was a wide receiver. Defense, I was a corner. But I always thought I was much better quarterback than receiver. But they already had some guy there, and I started pretty late. So I didn't do I started in 8th grade, stopped in 9th. So there's a lot of people that had been playing like the Pee Wee ball. So they already knew who they were going to have at quarterback. They switched me. I didn't do real well, so I just stopped. I didn't, feel that 100% drive to keep going. So, but it was fun while I did it. It was a great way to kind of, teach me how to lose, teach me how to win, teach me how to cooperate with other people. So, yeah, not the same position, but nonetheless got some valuable lessons. So
indeed, I would imagine so. And I would imagine those lessons, you had to kind of draw on those lessons while you were here, having the season that you had last season, the losing season, but then you come into one where you guys haven't lost a game yet. So talk about your feelings right now, being undefeated, and performing the way that you, at the high caliber that you guys are performing?
Yeah, so obviously it was going real well. By the end of week 3, we had 2 blowouts and, came down to the final play against Tacoma where we just inched them out. But I was feeling real good, starting to throw more interceptions as the weeks go on, which is obviously never a great thing, but me and my coaches are working on it right now. And I know that, every time we get down, I know that the defense is there. Like, I can't say it enough. Sometimes I'm like, wow, it was kind of rough for just going out there. And I think it was 2 touchdowns to 1 interception, which is good, but not great. And but when I get to see the defense do what they do, it kind of re-energizes me, and I get to go back into chat and be like, hey, I may not have had the greatest game, but you guys sure did. I think we had 6 turnovers. And in a game that I thought we had fairly in the bag, we gave it all we had, they gave it all they had. And so it was really cool, but I feel very confident right now. I think our odds of completely getting into the playoffs, while it's not at 100% right now, there are some weird things that can happen. A win next week will take us in there, which is super exciting, going from not making the playoffs to undefeated. So I have a lot of faith in the team and glad to see getting back to our big receivers. Not so much just Jay-Z Bacon throwing out routes to him. So we're doing really well. And I think a lot of that is the coaching. They're always talking about how we can do better and how we can progress our players, and really letting it be up to us though. So I don't know. I think a lot of things are coming together really well, and it'd be a much different team if one thing wasn't there. But since everyone's giving it 100, we could finish the season undefeated. Not saying we are. I don't want to put that out in the air. But we're excited, and I know that
KJ would probably say something like that. I think he probably have you covered in that. Covered.
Yeah. I love talking to KJ. He's a great guy, really out there. I know that, him and I were cracking up. I think it was not this last game, but the game before the bye week. We all got in the chat, and it was against Lexington, and it was a great time. He was there and in the chat a lot, just speaking his mind. So it was great to have a leader like that. Indeed.
That is very inspiring. And it is infectious. It makes you want to match that energy. So that's very important. And I know that he was a very essential aspect of the Flight's locker room, as well as Adam. He's guaranteed an interception. He's guaranteed. Whether he's going to make it a pick 6 or not, that's a different story. But I want to talk about you, though. I mean, even with your last game, you had 307 yards yourself, 3 passing touchdowns, and though you did have that 1 interception, the only thing that I can see that you're probably gonna have to work on. I mean, if you're gonna throw the ball, you're gonna throw an interception, period. It's just how you bounce back from that. I mean, as I was telling you before, I think I told you that I threw 7 in one game. We won the game, but I still threw 7. So it happens because I like to throw. And I see that you got sacked 5 times this game, though. So if anything, you kind of work on getting rid of the ball faster so you won't take those sacks. But I think you're doing an amazing job. Quarterback percentage is basically at 80. Completion percentage is at 80%. So my question to you is, what changed for you, or what did you decide that you wanted to focus in on versus last season, this season?
Well, I think it was, not the stats of, strength and accuracy as much as, the stats are going to affect the pocket presence, and just making it so we can kind of navigate around the line if it were to collapse, which credit to the offensive line, 5 sacks doesn't really happen a lot for us, which is awesome. But yeah, just kind of making sure that if somebody's near me, it's not like an automatic, like I got to throw it now or I'm going to get sacked, but I have a lot more. I forget exactly what the attributes are called, but just kind of sticking up there with confidence, I guess. And I don't know exactly, which one affects that, but I realized that one of my core ratings was down, and it was something that I didn't think would have a big impact on the game. But it does a lot. And obviously if it's a core attribute, it would, but I was really just focusing on my accuracy and strength and realizing that alone wasn't enough. And to a lot of people, it seems like that's all it really takes, but it's more than that. So focusing on those attributes that I had neglected last year was a big key part into, limiting the interceptions and 15 touchdowns now, I think. Yeah. So.
And records. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead and brag about it, Jordan. Come on now. Go ahead and let them know, please.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'll try to remain for a little bit. Last year, I set a record as well. It was a low completion percentage in one season, so it was bad, terrible. And glad I got the accuracy up to actually complete passes this year. But week 1 against the Albuquerque Adams, I had 6 touchdowns, which still not updated in the record book, but it's fine. I'm getting on them about that, but just to see Azariah away and Jay Viper, Jay-Z Bacon, I believe caught one or two of those, was just a great opener, considering they were new players. Most of the wide receivers were new players, so to see them come out really strong and realize that I forget who it was. I think it was Azariah Way, and that's why we call him Big Play Way. He got right past the corner at the beginning of the play and just lobbed it up to him. He caught it and went for a huge touchdown, which was, if that wouldn't have happened, you don't know, like if I would have gotten only 5 touchdowns or what. So just taking advantage of all the plays the defense gives us was really huge to that record. So, hey, I'm glad to have it and can't wait to see if that translates into the pros, which I hope it does.
And it will, when you're, like you said, I tell everyone to concentrate on the core attributes first. And then when you add your animations, that's just going to make your player perform better. But if you are adding all of these high value animations or low value animations early, then it's almost like you are eating the toppings of a delicious sundae without the ice cream.
Right. Yeah.
So
and a big play animation right now. I believe I have quick release, if that's what it's called.
Hey, and the thing is,
which really showed game 1 to game 2, which was awesome. So
you need it. You need to be able to get rid of the ball fast as a quarterback. You can't keep taking the sacks because that could turn over to loss, tackles for loss. That could also, I fumbled the ball one time. I've had somebody knock it loose. So it could happen. So it's get with your coaches and, what you already have. And I'm sure the SFLm coaches are doing very well in instructing you guys on, advising, I should say, not instructing, advising you guys on what you should be concentrating on to get the type of play style you need. So, and obviously it's working because you guys you're doing very, very, very well. But what kind of personality, Jordan, will you be bringing into someone's locker room if you should be chosen to be the leader of their locker room?
Well, I love just, talking to people, whether it's in a chat or one-on-one. If someone messages, like someone from our locker room was having a bad day, they were just really down. And so I messaged them personally. I said, hey, Obviously I'm not there with you, but if you need to talk about something, I can do that, and I can pray for you as well. And I know that helps. Me personally, believe that helps. So just offering, open conversation to anyone, and always reminding them to get those. Oh man, I'm blanking now. To go in and progress. So.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's really important, and we wouldn't be 5-0 right now if, we could be, 3-2 right now if, a couple progressions were forgotten about. So just going in and message them, hey, I noticed that, that you haven't been responding, wondering, hey, are you doing your progressions? If not, let's get on that. If you are, awesome. So glad to hear it, and hope that you'll speak up more in chat, because I love talking to everybody there. So
nice. See, you got the makings of not only a great leader as a quarterback, it sounds like you might be a great GM too. So something to think about. Speaking of which, is there anything that you want to do besides be a player? Did you want to go into a GM role, or maybe coach, or maybe do broadcasting or stats team, things like that?
Yeah, so I think I want to do something, and I'm not 100% sure what it is. And I know coaching, it probably isn't going to be right for me for a couple years. I work and I have school as well, and a couple other big projects because I own my own nonprofit organization. So I do a lot of stuff in the community. So I know that maybe being a coach and GM wouldn't be great, but I love statistics. So I'm really hoping that wherever I go, they need help there, and I can do something a little bit beyond be a player. So it'd be exciting.
Phenomenal. Very noble of you, man. Especially doing things for the community. I love that. I love hearing that. And my last question to you is, what type of locker room would you like to be a part of? What are you looking for in someone's locker room if you're drafted?
Well, I love locker rooms that consider themselves family. Like, I just want to be a part of a big family. And luckily, San Jose is the first locker room I've been in, but luckily they are one big family, and we go way beyond, just the game. We really talk throughout the week, update each other on our lives, and make sure we're all good, because it's a really important part of what makes the SFL the SFL. It's not, just this community of people who like football. It's also a family amongst not only the teams, but the SFL as a whole, which is really awesome. So I hope wherever I go, it's a big family. And if it's one of the expansion teams, that the owners would like it to be a big family, and adopt that kind of locker presence from anybody, really want that to stand out. So I'm hoping that that wherever I go has that.
Yeah, I think it's very important for not only teams to know who they are getting in their locker room, but for the players to know what they're getting into, especially if we do have these one-term contracts. You can feel free to go wherever you want. It's free agency, but I think it is good for you to know what you're getting into to start, so when you're going on these interviews and when different teams are talking to you, and any rookies, make sure you're asking all the questions that you really want to know, because this is going to be your home for the next season. So it could be for a little bit, or it could be for a long time. So and
that's another thing I've been telling them. I don't want to look at it like I'm here for a season. Yeah, I want to be there and be, I don't want to say a culture changer. I bet a lot of these locker rooms have great cultures, but a culture enhancer, just going in and getting the best out of everybody by giving the best of me. And I would also kind of like to go to a team with a not great record, just to kind of go in and help their team out, build that up. I know a lot of people want to win now, but I think it would be really rewarding if where I go was at, middle, bottom of the league, and we worked our way up. So that'd be exciting. But I'm willing to go, where or anybody really thinks I can add to their team.
Well, I don't know. Maybe after this, you might get a few hits, just from that. Because, it's easy to go to a team that's winning. It's easy to want to go to a team that's a champion or, that proven themselves to be as such. But when you want to help build from the ground up, when you want to come and help me, even though we haven't been as effective as we know we can be, and now you're saying, I don't care about that, I just want to be here. I think that's sign of a very good leader. So anybody that's watching, here's a great example. So, but Jordan, before I let you go, is there anything else you would like to say to these wonderful people that are listening to me right now? This is the time. This is like your shout out moment. So it can be a shout out. You can sing a song or you can recite a poem. But right now, Jordan, the floor is yours.
All right. So I just want to say thank you to our defense. Thank you to Big Play Way and KJ Alexio for one, just kind of helping me get out there, just in general. And a special thank you to our coaches that clearly been, guiding me and guiding the player in the right direction. And let's go undefeated and win a championship.
All right, and the best of luck to you. What do you think about your game next on Friday?
Well, I was supposed to look at who we're going up against, and I didn't. So that's rough. So I'm not 100% sure who we're even going up against. Maybe it's
the Lincoln Rattlesnakes.
Lincoln. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Well,
yeah. How you feel about Lincoln?
We'll win. We got a lot of confidence in our defense. We'll win. Mark my words, Lincoln. I'm excited though.
Okay. I'm gonna be watching. I'll be right there with my popcorn.
I'm super excited to go up against them. All the teams really put up. Like even last week, going up against Madison. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't have a win yet. And so that's just saying that they keep it close in every game. So I know any team could really end the streak, but we got this, and our defense is just getting better and better each week, and that's exciting. So I think we'll win.
I love the confidence. Keep it up, and good luck to you. I wish you the best. And if you want to come back, Jordan, you have a spot.
All right. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
All right, Jay, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to have you back. Good to have you back on the show, and being able to talk to you again and things like that. Sorry, we just now catching each other. It's been one of them weeks. Just started a new job.
One of those months.
Okay.
I know. How I've been, I have officially moved. I've started the wrestling stuff. I have started a new job. So I've been doing a bunch of new stuff. So the fact that I was even able to have free time tonight is awesome.
I'm so grateful. So glad. Because I want to get your name out there, Jay. And everyone, this is Mr. Jay Viper. He is a wide receiver for San Jose Flight as well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. The season's been going awesome. I've been trying to keep up as much as I possibly can. The season started right when I was moving, so It's been awesome though. I'm very excited about it.
Much great to keep up with. You're undefeated. You making great plays out there. Becoming one of the top wide receivers.
Even the game, I believe, 2 weeks ago. I believe I saved the game a couple weeks ago.
You're just doing little things like that, nothing major.
Yeah, nothing too big, So somehow has made my name as one of the better ones here. I've been reached out by, I'm not going to say who, but I've actually been reached out by a few teams. So that's pretty awesome to me because I didn't think I would. So that was pretty awesome.
Come on now. Come on, Jay. Of course you would. You're performing. And it kind of helped that I brought you in a little bit. So No.
Yeah, exactly. You and TJ, man. You and TJ.
Yes. Oh my God. And you know what? In honor of TJ, I actually I got the shirt on that he made for me.
Thought that looked familiar. I heard I Strike Like a, and I'm like, I think that's the TJ shirt.
That is a TJ shirt. Love that guy. Love that. But Jay, tell us a little bit about yourself. So we'd like to know your age. If you want to share that, that's cool. Your hometown, interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team.
Ooh. Well, I'm 20. I turned 21 in 4 months, so that's pretty awesome to me.
All right.
I'm from Colorado, Pueblo, Denver area. So, an interesting fact. I don't really have. While I'm becoming a pro wrestler, that's something.
Like legit?
I'm currently training to be. Yeah, I'm training to do the pro wrestling thing. That's why I moved. I'm going to school for it right now. So,
wow.
And favorite NFL team is the Broncos.
Okay, that is dope. That is really interesting. Wait a minute. So you have to go to school to learn how to jump off the top rope? Like, just give me a little overview.
I have a tick.
Awesome, man. So how did you find the SFL?
Well, TJ and you kind of came in procession. TJ joined it first, and then you kind of came into the wrestling thing as well. So TJ kind of said he was doing it. And I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. And I've been in the group chat forever. It's been a year, but I didn't join until this year because you guys, I think when I joined, started the payment thing, and I didn't have a job at that point. So I was like, oh, I gotta wait. And then I started doing that, and then just been upgrading my guy every week, or attempting to. Some weeks were a little too chaotic, and now I'm here.
But you haven't missed too many progressions, have you?
No, I think I've missed 3, but they haven't been in procession of each other, and so I've gotten kind of lucky with it. I think just because with the weeks that I miss, or the weeks that I'm just absolutely busy and I just can't focus on SFL, and it was mainly during the move stuff. That was the only time I ever missed it, because it was just one thing after another. I didn't have internet or something, and I just couldn't do it.
But you're pretty stable now, like you won't be missing anymore.
Yeah, no, I always make sure on Mondays or Tuesdays or whatever that I do it. Just make sure that I do it. I usually do it just before wrestling practice, so it works out kind of really well, actually.
Awesome, man. You know, things happen. You know, it is just important that, when you do that, also understand that progression is lost. I know that there has been some instances where people thought that, because of certain circumstances that have happened, like they were out of town. I know one in particular, they were out of town on vacation, and where they were, there was no internet. And, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. So it's just important. Just make sure you don't miss any more, Jay. But
no, I definitely know that. But I'm just lucky I've been able to hit the ones I am, and I've been progressing.
And still be as effective as you have been for the flight, man. I mean, I've been watching you, and it's been incredible. And I know you can put together a really good wrestler. I'd see you do that. So to see that you put together a fantastic wide receiver too is amazing. So,
but I look at the stats all the time, every week, and I'm just astonished that it's looking pretty good. Right. And
first of all, did you play football? Did you play sports growing up?
I played a lot of sports until high school. My freshman year was the last year I did any sports, but I played football my middle school years, and then I played obviously just with friends and stuff, and then I played baseball my freshman year, middle school, all the way up until freshman year, and then I did wrestling my freshman year, and then I actually coached a little league baseball team last year. So I'm kind of into the sports stuff.
See, that's dope. So why wide receiver? Why would you want to be a wide receiver for the SFL?
Because quarterback wasn't available. No. I whenever I played with my friends and stuff, I was always the wide receiver, quarterback, and just kind of somebody who always got the ball. And with wide receiver, I love that stuff. Like Brandon Marshall is an ex-Bronco,
Yes.
the wide receiver, number 15. He was one of my favorite people growing up. Demarius Thomas, rest in peace. He is also one of my favorites, and like it was around that time that he had passed away and everything. So I was like, might as well try a wide receiver. Why not? That'd be pretty fun. And it was available, and now I'm doing pretty good for San Jose. So.
Yeah, as a team, you guys are doing fantastic. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts on the season that you guys are having.
I mean, no losses is pretty good.
Right.
That's everything you can ask for. Obviously, you don't expect to win in every game, but I mean, when things come out and they work out like they have, it's been pretty awesome to watch the games back, because I can never catch them live. But it's always cool to watch the games back and see that I did good and the team did good, because as much as I want to be the best player as a wide receiver, the best player, if the team doesn't do good, then what's the sense of, So
Exactly.
it's nice to see everybody doing great, and to be 5-0 is pretty impressive.
Indeed. Now, what is, from your perspective, what is your locker room like right now? And do you think that the feeling, the air that's going on in your locker room right now, do you think that would change if you guys should suffer a loss?
I don't think it will, because we all build each other up pretty well. And like, obviously, you look at any team that's gone undefeated, the locker room's always ecstatic. And you look at, this is the best example I've can come up with is the Panthers in 2015 or whatever. Yes, they lost to my Broncos, but the Panthers lost that one game, and yet they still made the Super Bowl. It was still like they had lost, but they still almost achieved their goal. And I don't think any loss should affect it, as long as you have a good, obviously our locker room's been great, as is with the the wins and everything. And if we suffer a loss, I think we'll be fine, because it'll kind of maybe wake us up even more and say we aren't invincible, but we can get the job done. Because it's like you drew the blood, but we can still go get what we need to do.
Exactly. You guys have been drawing a lot of blood. I mean, from other people. I mean, 2 blowouts, very close games. Coaching has been on point, and you guys have been utilizing your players to the best of your abilities. So you can't argue with that. You can't argue with the results that you guys are getting. Maintaining the ball for most of the game is very key. Creating turnovers and capitalizing off of them, which you guys do. So you got a really good team that you're a part of. But tell me, Jay, would you have time to do anything else? Do you aspire to do anything else with the SFL? Because I do know with school and everything else, your time is limited. But like, I know that you're great at broadcasting. Like I've heard you do calls and things like that. So would you want to?
I would love to announce, coach. I want to do everything, but with the wrestling, and I also do the eFed for DFW, and I run that stuff too. So it's like my schedule is pretty loaded, but I think I'm going to give it a year and then see where I'm at. Because as soon as I graduate the wrestling school, I'm able to do whatever I want. It would be on my terms. I'd take bookings whenever, So I would love to one day, hopefully, coach or be whatever or commentate. That'd be awesome. But right now, kind of feel it out and see how the player does, and then we'll see.
Absolutely, and that's important, definitely. What type of personality will you be adding to someone's locker room if you should be drafted?
Whatever they need. To me, it's if they need a team leader, I can step up to be the team leader. If they need somebody that listens, pays attention, and gets the team to the team leader, I'd be that person. Basically, whatever role I need to be, I can shift into. Because if they need me to be the guy that pumps up the locker room, but not the team leader, I'll pump up the locker room. Whatever role I need to be, I can fit the shoes well. And that's just one thing. I've been on teams in real life. I've been TFW stuff for the wrestling stuff. I'm doing the wrestling stuff. So I'm pretty laid back and chill. So I do whatever they ask me to do. You ask me to jump, I say how high type of thing,
Gotcha. Now you got the laid back, chill, team oriented attitude, and I think that's important. But what are you expecting out of the locker room that you will be added to? What are you expecting out of the front office or that team? What do you want us to do for you?
Well, for any team, I want to win. I'm a very competitive person. I want a championship team, and I think that should be on everybody's mind. But like, obviously, if they're in a rebuild progress, it's going to take time. But I'm willing to go through those stages as long as there's light at the end of the tunnel that we can see. It's a long road. I know there's lots of teams in the SFL that want the same goal, but obviously, I want to be on the right track, and if they look good and everything and they're treating me well, I'm okay with it. I just want a good locker room that's wanting to win games, whether it's in a rebuild mode, whether they're championship team, like whatever area they're in, I'm good with it as long as it's a good locker room feeling and everything.
Okay, sounds good to me. Well, listen, it was a pleasure having you on. And I do know that you had a long day, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. But I can't do that without giving you the last word. So that can be a song or a poem, or that can be a simple shout out. But right now, Jay, the floor is yours.
Well, for anybody that drafts me, I thank you and for even considering me. Being in the SFL, this is awesome to me. This is like a dream come true. I never got to do the real NFL stuff, and I'm pursuing the wrestling thing, but like, this is absolutely amazing, and I thank you guys. Thank you, AJ, for having me on, and go follow my TikTok. 34 Jalen 34 on TikTok. Go check out the journey and everything. That's my shout out for myself, and also go follow Ashley's stuff. Even though you're watching it, you got to follow. And Top Flight Entertainment as well. TJ Punk Nation Baby on Twitch. I'll shout out everybody. Exactly. Go join the wrestling community.
Awesome, Jay. Well, thank you so much, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to do against the Lincoln Rattlesnakes. What do you think your chances are?
They're always good, but you never know. It's any given Sunday or whatever day it's on Friday. Sorry, but the quote's any given Sunday. So,
or you can say any given sim day.
That's another. Oh, that's a good one. That needs to be a shirt. Why is that not a shirt already? Come on. It's got to be a shirt.
If TJ decides to make that a shirt, as long as I get one, I'm good with it. I'm good.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to him then. We can make some money on that one. Say, hey, this isn't a sim thing, but hey, this is any given sim day. Come on.
Exactly.
We'll make money on that one.
Exactly. Well, Jay, you're welcome back to come back anytime you like to. All right. I'll see you soon.
Having me again. See ya.
All right. Good luck to you. Welcome back to my Fourth and Goal interview featuring one of my good friends, Mr. Cam Curtis. He is the assistant GM as well as the director of communications for.
That's correct.
Yeah, for the Canton Classics. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, man. It's good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, a long time, but it's always great.
Hey, same here. You actually looks like you grew a beard and everything.
I did. Yeah, I got out the military and then my face just did this. I did all the beard and the hair started popping out. I kind of love it.
Yeah, I do too. You actually kind of look like Chad's brother, Chad Roll's brother.
We are brothers.
You have to be brothers.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
that might be a surprise, Chad.
Listen. Telling you, I'm gonna put y'all pictures up together, and y'all gonna look very, very similar. But good to have you back, man. And I know that you're super excited to be a part of a new expansion team, to help build something from the ground up. And how much pressure? Well, tell me about your excitement level. Do you feel pressure? How do you feel right now?
No, I don't feel pressured at all. I think it's a great opportunity, and I've always been about those types of things. And as soon as I seen and heard what they kind of got going on, obviously it struck my interest. So I kept a close eye on what was going on and who was doing what, and the content that was being put together, and the way that it was being put together, and the way it was being released. And I appreciated a lot of that. So I decided I was going to reach out, right from the gate, saying, you know what, I definitely want, part of this. I want to, be involved any way I possibly can. And I had reached out to both owners, and at that time, the great GM Mike Lawless, he had already reached out to me, but with secrecy, we didn't know. Like, I didn't know who Mike represented, and I like Mike, and and I didn't know the owners of Canton, and I knew there was a lot of question of tenure and all that stuff. But like, when you see the vision, and you see what they got going on, and you hear them talk, and you see the little details of the press conference of what they stand for, what they're trying to achieve, what resources they may need to try to achieve those things. The hands-off owner approach. I'm very used to that kind of stuff, so I was liking it all, and by all also meaning Mike All and everyone else that's involved. Like, those are all just icing on the cakes. So once I realized it was a great opportunity, I talked to these guys, and then I found out who was involved. I was just like, done deal, sign me up. As far as my whole life goes, the retirement thing came about. My life got busy. I transitioned to a new job. I got out the military. I'm getting married. I got so many things going on, and it was like I was just so busy, and I can't give the way that I normally want to give, so I had to take a step back, and allow that opportunity for someone else to step in my place. That's what that was all about.
Okay, because I wondered what was going on, and I know there was a period of time that I didn't see you at all, and I figured life happens, and I know you were in the service, so I didn't know if something was going on with that. But now that I know that everything else is going on with you, congratulations on getting married.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
It's soon, coming soon, but it's still on the radar.
Wonderful. And look, I'm glad you're able to retire, from the military, and be able to kind of, breathe a little bit now. So yeah, you're getting. It seems like a whole a season of change for you in every aspect.
Yeah, a complete life change.
Right, and change is good. Even from you leaving Fort Worth, I was wondering how that was going to be, how that conversation went when you finally knew that's what you wanted to do that. Like, how did they take that? Because I know you were an integral part of that ball club.
So yeah, I definitely was part of the front office. I was very involved. Those guys were nothing but good to me. I just knew there was a point where, the thought started coming in my head of potentially I might have to do this. I had a lot of logistics going on at the time. I was trying to start a show on top of it, and they were very supportive about that. They were never like, "Hey, Cam, we want you to do this or you have to do that." Whatever I wanted to do, there was no commands of what I had to do. All that stuff was pretty much done on my free will, because I know they needed it. I know I could help them, and it was a no pressure situation. I think all those guys are great, but the reality is I couldn't keep up that same level because of all the stuff that I was doing. And there had to be a little bit of give and take. And I had talked to Hacker, and I talked to Nacho, and I said, look, this is what's going on. I'm gonna have to take a step back. I'm gonna have to go, but I'm not going to another team. I'm gonna retire, and that was the whole thing. I wasn't seeking to go to another team. As soon as the Louisiana thing came up, that was way later in the season, when stuff started to slow down a little bit. Like you said, I disappeared for a while, and it wasn't anything about turning my back on the community. It wasn't anything like that. It was just I got busy, So then, they were very supportive about it. We kept a good level of communication after the fact to be able to talk. So I think we still got each other's back. I'm pretty sure about it. I don't think there was any hard feelings. They got a great replacement in Reno, and I was happy. I maintained a good relationship with him, all the way before he even went onto the team to now. So I think that I think they're doing great things over there, and that's what it was about for me. It was about just the transition for me and what I needed at that time.
Understood. So what do you think about leaving from an established team, going to a team that's just starting from the ground up? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Are you gonna...
So when I went to Fort Worth, they were just getting established. I wasn't their quarterback right away. I came and I played wide receiver for them for a year. I gave them a few more years as quarterback, and many other things behind the scenes. To me, it's not where a team stands. It's what my commitment is to the team, and the things that I can do, and their vision, and me believing in the vision behind it. And when I was at Fort Worth, they had a vision, and I was behind the vision. I was part of it. But when I had to step away, I stepped away. When I came back, of course, I'm looking for a vision. I mean, I've had plenty of offers, and I've had, a lot of higher opportunities at different places. I had people reach out to me to be a co-owner. I had people reach out to me to be a GM. I had people to reach out to me to be higher positions. But ultimately, this is what I wanted. Once I saw the opportunity and I saw the ways that I can help, I wanted to be a part of that. And I think a lot of people do, and there's a lot of commitment around the league behind the scenes right now that's not really announced or not figured out. And it's a real thing. A big portion of the SFL really stands behind this.
Rightfully so. I mean, I look at the owners that you have. I look at Adam, and I look at Christian, and I see what they've done since they got here. I know what they're doing, and it worked, and it's working. And so I commend that. I commend them for coming in with the idea in mind that that's what they wanted to do, and they actually brought it to fruition. And they're bringing people around them that are good. Like, you are an amazing person in general, because I know you. I've known you for a long time. I know that you are a very giving person. I know that you will help wherever is needed. I know that you're a hell of a graphics guy. I know that you can put together a really good show. I've watched your show. I saw the show that you're referring to. And I was hoping that you're going to be able to keep it going. And now I understand why you didn't. But I really hope that you get back into it. I really hope I can help you with something if you need it. And yeah, we're on the different teams, but you're always going to be my friend. So if you ever need me, Cam, I'm always going to be here for you, because you've always been there for me, brother. And I appreciate that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you deserve all of the good accolades that you get. And this opportunity. Yeah.
It's kind of funny how that all started, and maybe this can, be... Let me tell the story kind of just maybe rookies out too, because I joined and I joined season 14 before the minor league, and the minor league got announced, and I went from Tulsa, which actually you were on Tulsa the year before, and I was on Tulsa, and a lot of people don't know this is very short-lived, because I was on Tulsa I think like week 4 or 5, and the minor league got announced 2 weeks later, and I had to talk to Dion and say, hey, look, I really want to go through this new path. It's an exciting new thing that the SFL is doing. And, I want to go that path. But all that aside, joining, I always wondered, like, how am I going to help the league? What can I actually do to help the league? And I didn't know. I didn't have talents for graphic design. I didn't have talents for video and all that stuff. So I dipped into scouting. I went to Annapolis, and those guys taught me how to scout. And, I started doing a lot of putting the plays in and doing stuff more towards offense coordinator. And, like, I enjoyed it, helping, and I did all that. Wasn't so much my cup of tea. I did like aspects of it. I know how to do it, but wasn't my cup of tea. But in the background, I was doing video editing. I was doing a lot of video stuff, but it was very novice stuff, but that was something I'd never done before. And going through that process, the SFL kind of like brought me into that. I didn't know I enjoyed those kind of things. I would have never known if I didn't actually step in and just try to do these things. And maybe I would have hated it, you know, but I tried to do these things, and I started learning that, hey, you know, yeah, I suck at it, but I'm getting better, you know, and I'm sure some people probably feel that around the league right now who are just starting out in those positions. But like, when I transitioned there, I didn't know anything about graphic design when I went to Fort Worth. But they were the ones that were like, hey, you know, we could see you as our graphic designer, you know, or not graphic designer, as our DOC, which is social media is not graphic design. However, I dipped into that a little bit and actually grew and became a good graphic designer. Not great. I'm not, you know, there's great people along this league, but I'm good. I can definitely do some damage. But if it wasn't for Fort Worth, I wouldn't have probably done that. I made, you know, not to the level that I did. I did so many graphics over there and so much stuff with their YouTube, and, you know, so I got to give kudos to them. And I got to give kudos to just the SFL for allowing me just to well, not allowing me, but so much just bringing this stuff to my attention indirectly.
And it's amazing that you said that, because a lot of times you can come in not knowing something. And then you can be inspired to learn it. Like you said, you wanted to make a difference for your team. You wanted to make a difference for the SFL. So you honed in, you found a skill that you decided to hone in on, and now you've made it to where you are a desirable person to be able to help out. I know you've helped me out with a few projects, and I will always and forever be grateful to you. And I thought it was amazing when you first told me that you had no background in it, and you do so well, you know. But it is about the effort and the drive that you have and what you decide that you want to put into something. And I noticed that anything that you put your hands on, it's usually great. So wish y'all best of luck, and I know that you guys are going to do well. Now, as you know, we do have this bet going on that your owner decided that he wanted to implement. So I just want to let you know that it will be very interesting to see him wearing the Arizona Scorpions logo at the end of the season, you know, for a couple of weeks. You know, I got a real nice graphic, you know, I mean, a real nice logo I want him to wear. And if you want to wear it too, you're my friend too, so you know.
I'll get on the bet too.
Well, Cameron, is there anything else? And is there any other messages? Is there anything else that you want to let all these good people know while you're here about Canton, about life in general? Actually, before you get into that, I would love to know some advice that you would have for the rookies that are in the league, because it's a lot of them.
I would say two things. One thing, enjoy your time. The SFL minor league is such a special place, and not everyone got to experience it yet. You know, there may be people down the road that never experienced it, that decide to, you know, re-roll their player and maybe go into the minor leagues. You know, there maybe some don't, but ultimately, like, it's a great experience. So just enjoy that. Enjoy it while you're there. But also, it's a great time to learn. Like, if you want to learn something, you want to get involved in, and whether it's podcast or, you know, graphic design or, you know, video editing or or commentator, there's so many ways. This simulation is real. It's not just a simulation, and it extends much farther than the actual teams itself. If you can go and you can, you know, just experiment something, and it's great if you hate it. It's great because there could be 10 other things that you love, but the only way you know is if you actually step in and do it. So, you know, I'm not trying to say do what I did, you know, but I mean, I'm talking from firsthand. This is how I figured out, and I would have never known if I didn't step into some of the things I stepped into or met some of the people that I met, you know. So, you know, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience, there's always good that comes with it.
Indeed. You're absolutely right about that. You're in a situation where you probably never seen these people, or you may have never met these people in the real life, and you just happen to find to friend for the rest of your life here. It has happened before. So it's a good place to be. It's a good community. And it's very surprising to find that online, because you never know what you get online. You never know what you're joining, who's really there, so it's great that this place has brought together so many people, and I think it will for the future. So, but what's some good, do you have any advice? You have anything else you want to say, or give us a song, or give us a poem, or just a simple shout out?
So I did want to ask you, I did have a question for you.
Sure.
And it's a player related question. Okay. Now I know you played for Tulsa, and I know you played for Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that one receiver that you were like, man, I love getting the ball to this one person? And you can't use, here's the rule, you can't use your current receivers on Arizona. I'm going to make this easy for you. So we're talking about previous. Was it Corey Jones? Was it James Hands? Was it Donnie? Was it Mike? Was it Ossie?
Ooh. Mike Osei. Wow.
Yeah.
I would have to say it would have to be between Donnie Diamond and Corey Jones.
Yeah. There wasn't one of the two that just made more plays, all of these just randomly, like.
I think maybe Donnie. Maybe. I think both of them, that's why it's really hard. First of all, those are all great receivers. I love my current receivers now. Those were some fantastic people to work with, some fantastic players, Bills. Yeah. But those two were the ones that stuck out to me the most. And if I had to choose between two, it has to be Donnie. Maybe because I had more seasons to also play with Donnie too. That might have something to do with that too. I think maybe like one more season or so. But yeah. Anything else you want to ask me?
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. And as far as the whole Canton thing, I knew it was probably a waffle shop going into it, where maybe like they already had the position full. I wasn't sure if I was going to even get in. So I'm glad I was able to get the opportunity, because there's great names out there.
Come on now.
Like Dunhill. No, guys like Dunhill,
yeah.
I'm not a shoo-in. I definitely, strike interest, but I'm not a shoo-in. So I'd like to thank, Canton for that opportunity, and I guess timing was good. And I also want to thank all the owners. None of this is really possible, and I'm not an owner of this team. I'm not talking, because I'm on Canton. Like, I just want to thank them, because, without them making this decision, none of this exists, right? We're all, we're all on the same team. We all have the same vision. We all might have differences of opinion on how to get there, but if you put all those differences aside and you look at what the intent is, everyone has the same intent. So, the process worked out, great, and I'm glad that they got the shot, and I'm going to back it every way I possibly can.
Yeah, I know. And that's why you were chosen.
Yeah, but thank you to all the owners, no matter what your vote was.
That's why you were chosen, though. There were a lot of good candidates out there, like you said. But I do understand why KJ and Adam. As I told you earlier.
Yeah.
It's a lot more that comes than just a player. So. But I do wish y'all, the best of luck. Not too much luck, not too much to where I'm gonna have to wear gold or nothing like that. But
I mean, you would look good in gold, right?
Wait a minute now. See, don't start trying to entice me to come over there now. KJ already.
I'm not trying to entice. I'm just trying to say, you could be on the other side of the bet.
I mean, I could, but I need someone to know I'm gonna win on this side.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Indeed. But
You already
thanks.
got strike on your shirt, so maybe maybe that's a sign. Just strike
One
out
way or
when
the
you
other. That's a good one. That's a good one. But thank you, man. Thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Come back whenever you want to. All right. See you. Love it. Thank you all so much for checking out the show tonight. I really appreciate your time. Thank you to all of my guests that were able to make time out of their busy schedules to come and hang out with me, and especially to my guest, Mr. Nathaniel Diggs. You have any good words of wisdom for these people? Confucius say anything?
No, I don't have anything else to say today. My mind's elsewhere right now. She's got crayons in her hands.
Oh no.
There's my word for wisdom. Don't leave kids alone with crayons. There you go.
Unless your walls are painted black, sir? No.
Oh no, she ain't hit the wall yet. She's too busy coloring in this
Look at her. So sweet.
animal book.
I love it. Well, everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in again. Looking forward to bringing you all another great podcast next week. But until then, y'all, stay safe, treat each other well. Nathaniel and Striker out. In 3, 2, 1. What is up, SFL Nation? Welcome back to SFL Nights. A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whatever you decided to hear. Clearly, that's a cutscene. Let's start over again. All right. And then I got trucks going past. So, can you hear that?
Yeah, I think that's the best blooper yet.
No, my camera. What's going on? Camera. Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it go by, but I heard that.
He had actually honked his horn. See, y'all be doing too much around here. Hold on, Diggy. Oh no. He's so sweet. It was totally an accident. So if I move the cord to this camera the wrong way, the whole thing just cuts off. So there's a short end somewhere.
Can you hear that fan in the background or no?
Hmm?
Can you hear that fan in the background?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not at all. All right. Let's do it. Recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Recording in 3, 2, 1. All right, SFL Nation, welcome back. Oh, I have a great friend of mine here with me, Mr. Cam Curtis. He is the assistant GM as well. Wait, are you the actual GM?
No, Mike Hall's the GM.
That's
I'm
right.
just the assistant to the general manager.
Gotcha. Assistant GM.
Like Dwight Schrute.
I didn't hear you.
Like Dwight Schrute. You watch The Office? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
Assistant to the general manager.
I can't. I love The Office though. Seriously.
That's a good show. It was a good show.
The Office and Archer. Both great shows.
I haven't seen Archer.
Oh, what?
Some people will probably kill me for that hearing this. I'll probably be shunned around the NFL.
I'm not gonna shun you. I'm just gonna teach you. That's all.
Okay.
Got it out. But I'm gonna run that back again. So
No problem.
what is up, SFL Nation? Welcome back to but
I wanted to I saw your post on there about your family member in the military service, so you can thank the family for that, and everybody else out here that's watching the show. That's that's had somebody that served that passed. You know, we appreciate that. You know, me myself, and thought about the families of guys I deployed with that came home and lost their own fight, and just even if they served. And I had one guy that got in an accident and wasn't able to finish his contract out because he had passed in it. But I mean, it's all part of it. And, I lump everybody together in that, whether they died, serving our country overseas or at home. So, I want to thank all their families for that.
Me too. And
I want to throw that out.
I guess I didn't have a clear understanding as to what that entails, because and I have family members that were in the service, cousins and my grandfather in the Army and in the Navy, things like that. But I was always under the impression that when it was Memorial Day, it was like in memory of everyone that passed. I didn't know that it was just for personnel that was killed in action. That was just explained to me yesterday. And I guess in my mind, I was just like, well, if it shouldn't matter whether you died in action or whether you died on the way home or whether you've been out the service for about 20 years and you died. The fact is you're still a service person, and that never leaves you. That's always a part of you. But I was told correctly, so
there's some people that are more sticklers about it military wise, that it gets into a whole Veterans Day things. Some veterans view Veterans Day as if you didn't deploy, then you're not a veteran. But to me, that's a combat veteran. You deployed to Iraq, you deployed to Afghanistan as a combat veteran. Okay. And then, but to me, if you were in and you're out, you're still a veteran of the military, right? You served at one point in time. You wrote a check that other people weren't willing to write.
Yeah.
And so I included all in that. And then Memorial Day, a lot of people do what you just said with putting just those that died overseas in a category for that. But me, been there doing that. My point of view on it is I'm going to include the guys that went and came home and lost their own battles at home from that stuff. So to me, I include them. A lot of the guys from my unit include, and they include other people that passed, like you did your family member. So it's all about the memory of it, the memorial of them. So that's just my view on it.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, man.
So you were fine in my eyes. You were fine on it. So don't worry about it. Any love to the military and your country and stuff is good for me. So you were fine. So don't take it to heart.
All right. I appreciate it. Hey, I've had, like I said, it doesn't. She could deliver you pizza. You could eat. I've had people do all kinds of stuff. So you're fine. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about maybe just having a show where it's like dinner, dinner and a podcast. Why not? Like, you eat what you like. Hey, look who it is. It is Mr. J. Viper.
Ashley, if you ever do anything like that, you have to have me on that night.
Of course. I would love to. I would love to. We could just order the same thing. We could sit there, eat like we're actually having dinner. It'll be dope.
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right. Look at this. Quarterback and wide receiver. How are y'all doing? What's up, Jackie?
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? That's the real question here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if this was going to work, so.
It did.
Nice to officially meet you, Jordan, by the way.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. It's crazy. I never really know what to expect when meeting some of these people, so it's nice to finally have a face to the name. So
yeah, oh no, for sure. And that's how I was with you. I'm like, Jordan Sipe, man, I got to meet him one of these times. He's been throwing me the ball for the whole season, so might as well meet him.
For sure.
Awesome.
Well, all right. So I guess you're done with me, Ashley.
I am. If you wanted to say, did you have any more messages that you want to give to your wide receiver before the game on Friday?
Now, he's been delivering all season. He knows how it goes.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. And that's a matter of fact.
I can't catch the ball if you ain't throwing it to me. So,
hey, we working on that. And I see some games where I'm throwing people the ball like so many times, and then other ones they don't get the ball at all, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I really just gotta spread it around. So don't know what.
But if they're catching it, that's fine. But as long as you do good and the team does good, it doesn't matter.
Hey, 5-0. That's all that matters right now. We're getting there.
All right, totally dope, man. But Jordan, like I said, come back whenever you want to.
All right, hey, when you guys are eating and having a podcast, get me on. I'm so excited.
I promise when I do that, I'm going to do it like the day. I'm going to let people know the day before so we can all order the same thing and have it on standby.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thanks, Ashley.
You're very welcome, dear. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. And it was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
All right, Jack. To Xander Moon, I noticed that he, put a message out there on Twitter the other day, and I started to say something. You saw it?
I didn't see it. Well, what was it?
He felt that the SFLm was broken, because he feels that the players that are getting the two-way contracts are shining a lot more than just the regular rookies. So my thing is this. Everybody has their moments. When you're looking at it from that perspective, right? The way the two-way players are in the majors, they may be the fourth receiver. They may be the third tight end. They don't get a lot of playing time in the majors. So them having this two-way contract allows them to have that playing time in the minors, where as rookies, when you're drafted, you have that same opportunity. It's all about making the most out of what you have, right? And so I think that Moon was just really angry and upset that Madison hasn't won a game yet, and he came from a team. He has a championship. So I don't know if the caliber was set so high that now he's on that other side, and it's a situation to where he's having issues dealing with that. But Xander, if you're trying to be a quarterback in this league, if you're trying to be a quarterback in any league, there's certain things you're going to have to understand, man. And I'm not sure if it's just that. I'm not sure what's going on, but I would encourage you to come talk to me. I'm a quarterback and I've been in this league for a long time. I've been where you are.
I can't speak for him.
But the rookies, but like with me, I only had one game to prove myself, right? They have 9. And even if you're not playing, as quarterback, you're playing all of those weeks. So I think it's just about having the knowledge as to why and how the two-way contract players work, what they actually do, and being understanding that everybody is going to have their moment to shine. You just got to wait your turn. And in all actuality, he did. He's a champion. So for you to now be on the other side of it, and instead of just showing, all right, I can be a gracious loser, just like I was a great winner. Come on, man. You got to be better than that. You're a leader of the team. You got to be. But go ahead.
Man, what a show. Sirens, trucks, and kids.
Hey, I have little ones too. It's all good.
I'm trying to talk and look at notes, and my mind forgetting where I'm at because I'm trying to watch them at the same time. It's
You're
sorry.
good.
So,
No, you're totally good.
well, that's me explaining some of these games messing up because I'm doing that, but it's whatever. It's whatever. No, I think it's more of, like I said, I haven't talked to him personally about it, but just my perspective on it with him is he may be just talking about, you know, if you're on a two-way, you know, I think maybe you shouldn't be in the wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 spot. Maybe, you know, give these newer people a chance to make the most of their minor season, their first minor season. I think that's probably what he's getting at. That these two-way players are taking starting roles away from somebody that's fresh off, you know.
Well, the AI is going to register who has the better value. So even if you did have, I don't know, Brandy Squarebush as your secondary player, the AI, from my understanding, if anybody in the chat, if I'm getting this wrong, please let us know. But from my understanding, the AI is only going to focus on the next best player. So if you are not as high as the other one, you still won't get targeted as much. So it's about growing. It's about progressing.
Here's an idea for next, if they do the two-way contracts again for the next batch that comes through. If you're a player that already got drafted, you've got yourself built up, right?
Right.
I know they're not allowed to progress for the minors during the minor season because they had a minor season progress and a pro season progress. So it's not fair to give you 3 straight seasons of progression.
Exactly.
Cool. I get that. But maybe on the next two-way contract, to make it a little bit more fair in the minors, if you drop back down for that minor season, you don't have your animations. We'll give them back to you when you come back to pro because you had them when you were there. But when you drop back down to the minor, you're at your rating. That's what it is. No animation.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, I don't see why they couldn't do it because it should be just as easy as just taking something off and then adding it back on. I'm not sure how that would mess with the other grand scheme of things, but I think it is a good idea. It's something that should be considered because obviously it's an issue. And hopefully there could be a swift and a swift response that will be able to satisfy most. I understand that not everybody is going to be satisfied. Not everybody is going to be happy with the decisions that are made.
But that takes away some of the argument too. With the stripping of animations. Yeah, I mean, you've got guys that have been in the minors 2 or 3 seasons, right? Like Moon's back. He's a high rated quarterback. Okay, you're going to have people that are highly rated or in 100 already. Like Duncan is back in there. He didn't get drafted. He's not a two-way running back. He's just playing another season, so he's going to be higher level than everybody else. So you're going to have those high numbered overall people in there, but minus the animations, so it makes it a little bit more fair.
So the thing is, are the rookies putting on animations though? That's the thing, because if you're telling people from the two-way contracts, okay, you have to strip them of their animations, which I think, hey, that's fair. But are the rookies now having that issue? Are they going to be saying the same thing about the rookies? Well, how is it that I know that they're starting and they're just adding their animations, but I had to strip mine? Like, what do you say to that?
I didn't even have animations when I was doing it, so I thought you couldn't get that until later.
Well, technically, you really should wait till later. I mean, you did it right, and that's why you're effective as a player like you are, because you waited until all of the core attributes, the ones that really matter, are built up, and then you start adding the other stuff. You know, but it's crazy. It's crazy, but they'll get it together, I'm sure. But I just had to kind of address that because it's one thing to say that there is a problem. We all know that there's problems. The world is full of problems, but
I don't think Moon would be a hypocrite in the sense of saying, "Hey, it's not fair that they're back," because look at your top receivers, Baker and Ellis,
Mhm.
right? Both two ways. So your team's good enough. You have the talent. You don't want to knock your own team, right? You don't want to knock his own team. So I don't think he's looking at it from a hypocritical standpoint such as that, which is why I'm saying I think that's kind of what he's saying is they're outshining the people that are just starting fresh and trying to have a chance. You've been there, you've done it, you've made it. But if you come back, be a little bit more fair because you're really outshining the people that are wanting to get looked at to be drafted. So that's
no, I get it. I get it. Hopefully there'll be something that can be done about it, you know. And quickly by like next season, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you. I can hear you really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, like I said, every time I chop some garlic, or you know, I press some garlic, I'm always thinking of you, brother, because that came right on time. You know.
Yeah. You've been doing a lot of cooking lately?
I have been trying. I was actually trying to shoot a video the other day for that Korean fried chicken I was telling you about, but my camera kept failing for some reason, and I didn't know. And then my sound went out, so I was like, you know what? Maybe going live is not for me. So I think I'm just going to stick to the recorded thing. But it's been interesting. But you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Recording in 3, 2, 1.
So I have a TikTok that shows a few of the videos, but yeah, so basically it's you have to learn how to like wrestle correctly because you don't want to hurt anybody. So it's like just learning how to properly do suplexes, properly land on your back, properly do basically everything. I haven't done any top rope stuff yet, but I'm also like going to the local events, Colorado Springs Wrestling, Primos, Renegade Championship Wrestling, and helping set up the ring, meet everybody, and just trying to get the name out because you have to pay your dues. So that's how you got to do it. So it's been a lot of work.
That is so dope, Jay. Hey, I wish the best of luck on there, man. That's gonna be. I'll turn on TV and see you on TV one day wrestling. Like that's my friend.
Yeah, I knew him. I knew him.
Awesome, man. So how did you find a nice graphic? You know, I mean, a real nice logo. I want him to wear, and if you want to wear it too, you're my friend too. So you know,
I'll get on the bet too, because you know, just as far as standing behind him, right? Standing behind them, Adam, Christian, the whole mission, everybody that's involved.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on a plane, you know, and you want everyone to succeed, and something doesn't go right? What do you do? You're part of the group. You don't just sit there and watch them burn to the ground. You know, like you go and you help them. You don't let that plane crash. You know, so I know there was a big argument over tenure that was back and forth with some people, and you know, we're there to try to keep that from happening. We're not going to we're part of this vision. You know, we're not going to let it crash in the ground. So I definitely don't want to lose a bet. So I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure I'm not wearing this gear. not that it's bad gear. I got some Arizona Scorpions gear. I got an Eddie Gage's jersey actually sitting right around the corner. So, you know, I don't mind it. Will I wear it? Yeah, I will wear it under good cause, but will I lose a bet for it? Hell no. I will not lose a bet for it. So you're gonna get a nice fight. You're gonna get a competitive fight on this one.
I'm looking forward to it. I'd expect nothing less.